Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Iconic Dollcast. My name is Sage, your host. Welcome back to another episode all about dolls. You guys, today is my final, I guess what you would call traditional interview episode for the summer. Don't forget, I am taking my fall break starting on September 15th. I do have some special video episodes coming for you for the first 2 weeks of September that I'm very excited about, but I am also excited to take a well-deserved break. I have been putting out episodes almost every single week since January. This week, I have Imani on the show, and Imani is a big American Girl collector who also works at an American Girl store. Very excited for this one. You guys know how much I love talking about American Girl. And, seriously, what a year this has been. What a summer this has been. So many dolls have been released. I've chatted with so many people. It's been so much fun. And, when I got into the podcasting world, I didn't really know anything about it. I still don't, to be honest, but I will say I did take the time to look into my podcast stats, and apparently, this is pretty cool, for an independently produced podcast, this is doing really well. I don't do any sponsorships and I keep everything pretty basic, but it's really not common for podcasts to make it even past 10 episodes, let alone 100. And just some cool things that I found out while doing my research is my podcast is actually in the top 10% of independent podcasts and is well above average compared to most podcasts. And the show is also in the top 25% of shows worldwide in terms of episode performances and, like streams and downloads for an independent podcast. So that's just really so cool to me. I had no idea. I do plan on keeping this show alive for the near and far future. I'm having so much fun with it. And just thanks to all of you that listen. It really means a lot to me. And I'm so excited to find out that it's actually doing pretty well. That's really cool. We're going to jump right into the interview. As always, please follow me on Instagram at iconicdollcast or Britney Spears Custom Dolls. You can follow me on TikTok at Britney Spears Dolls. And here is my chat with Imani all about American Girl. Okay, everyone. Today I have Imani on the show, and Imani is a big American Girl fan, and she actually works at an American Girl store, which is amazing. I'm super excited about this. You guys know how I could talk about American Girl for hours. Imani, how are you doing?
I'm great. Yes, I work at American Girl and I absolutely love it.
I love that. So before we get into the heart of our discussion, tell me a little bit about yourself. Obviously, you work at American Girl. When did you get into American Girl? Tell me all about it.
For sure. Well, I've been with the company for well over 9 years, and I've worked in all the different positions you can possibly think of in the cafe. I've grown through the company, and it's been quite an experience, honestly. But yeah, so I worked in all the different positions, and now I am currently the general cafe manager of the Dallas location. And I am also the culinary trainer for all American Girl cafes. So that's really exciting because it allows me to help with new training aids and guides for new rollouts for new recipes. Whenever we roll out a new menu, especially dessert ones, those dessert menus are so much fun. But yeah, and so I just get to be a part of the creativity and creating magical, memorable experiences with guests all the time. So it's a lot of fun.
I love that. And so did you grow up liking American Girl?
My mom is the one who got me into American Girl when I was younger. One of her colleagues, I think they went shopping or something like that and brought a whole bunch to work because they were trying to hide it from their kid. And my mom was like, whoa, wait a minute, what's all that stuff? And so she gave her a catalog and she brought it home to me. We went through the magazine together and she let me pick out one of the historical dolls. And that's how I first got into American Girl. And so I was about 9 years old when that happened. And right after that, me and my mom, shortly after that, honestly, we went to an American Girl store where we had an American Girl trip and we stayed there for like 3 or 4 days. And it was so magical. And the memories that we made were I cherish them so much. And then that's the beginning of my American Girl passion. So
Love it. So who was your first American Girl doll?
Josefina.
Me
Josefina
too.
was
Me too.
yeah, Josefina is my girl. I love her
Me
so much.
too.
Yeah, she was my very first girl. She was my very first best friend, actually. But yep, I got her when I was about 9 years old, and I got her because she really her story really resonated with me. Like, she's just all about being strong, and she's family oriented. Like, she loves her family, and everything she does is all about, being passionate about her family and how can she best represent her mom, and I really looked up to my big sister a lot when I was growing up, so I felt like it was a way for me to connect more with her. So yeah.
I love that. So I got Josefina in 1997, and I got her. We were my I was raised by my grandparents, and we were moving to a new town, and I was like super upset about it, obviously. And I don't really remember how we discovered it must have just been a catalog that came and whatever. Josefina was the brand new girl at the time. And so I got her like a month after she was released, and
Oh,
she's been with me ever since. And then, then I went on to Kirsten and Addie and Molly, and I've never stopped since.
yeah.
So it's been wonderful. So you get into the books too.
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah. So
Great.
I'm curious, do you have all of the historical dolls?
Okay, so I don't count the two 90s twins just because it's too new for me.
A
But
lot of people don't. You're not alone.
I'm just not there yet. But the only one that I need right now is Claudie, and
Wow.
we're gonna get her. It's
Wow.
gonna happen. I do have all
Okay.
of them except for Claudie for now.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
just got Ivy Ling in the mail a couple days
Okay,
ago.
Ivy. Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, Cecile, all of them. I have them all. So
Wow.
it's wonderful. And I don't know what I'm going to do with myself when I do have them all, because I don't really get into the whole truly me thing. It's just not my thing. I'm like all about learning, and I loved the historical stuff when I was a kid, and I still do. So I've never really jumped into the truly me. I have a couple of those American Girl Today dolls, like from 1995,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I think are great. And I have a truly me doll. He's like, that's me.
Oh, that's your mini.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my
Okay.
mini, of
Gotcha.
course. What do you think makes American Girl as a brand so special?
I guess I'd say American Girl still has iconic storytelling, which is really special. Through the years, though, they've changed so much. That has stayed the same, and if anything, it's grown to include more diverse, modern, and inclusive characters. And so, in addition to it being special like that, American Girl is special because it makes those warm, nostalgic, and magical memories for families of all different shapes and sizes and colors, and American Girl to me is so special because of the memories that I have when I was a little girl with my mom. Like, honestly, those are the memories that I cherish more than anything else. So American Girl has always held that special spot in my heart, and that's why I work there today. Like, it's still so magical. It was magical then, and it's magical now, and I love being able to spread that magic with as many people as possible.
I love that. So I think for a lot of people who do adults that do a collect American Girl, it is the family aspect is so big. And I personally, like, my thing with it is like like I said, I was raised by my grandparents, and like education was very, very important to my grandparents. And so they knew, I loved Barbie back then, and I loved My Little Mermaids and all that stuff. And of course they were amazing and willing to support that and get me all the dolls I loved. But when American Girl stepped in, specifically, I remember with Josefina, it was the first doll I ever got that came with a story, and it was like multiple
Story.
stories, right? And the other great thing about Josefina is my grandparents are obsessed with Santa Fe, and so I've been there so many times and brought my Josefina with me. But prior to all those vacations and whatever, I have so many great memories of sitting down with my grandparents. And I was kind of, what else is special is I was really learning how to read chapter books when I was 7. And so those are a lot of the very first books that I ever was reading on my own and reading to my grandparents. And then with that, they would tell me about like the historical aspects of things and be like, well, this is what happened. And I just felt like when I was younger, I was so ahead of the curve with like my historical knowledge. And granted, I know American Girl really likes to they have to water down their
Yeah.
stories to make it
Right.
comprehensible to a 7, 9 year old. But I felt like I learned so much in it, like installed this like permanent, like must be learning at all times mentality in my
Wow.
brain. And like I recently have been revisiting the books again, and I'm just like, these are so, I'm 34 years old, and like I am loving this. And
It's
like
so, so good. Yeah.
and I know they've changed things. I will say I really wish they would bring back like the 6 book arc for each girl,
For
but
each girl. Yeah.
I understand, like, I understand how businesses evolve and I totally see their vision and what they're doing, but sometimes it's just like, oh my God, like with the Linnea is one that I recently was getting
Mhm.
into. And I was like, God, I wish there was more. And Courtney is another one. I actually interviewed the author of the
Of
Courtney
Courtney?
books for this show. And I just kept telling her, I was like, I just wish there were more. Like, I wish there were more because I was really, really in love with that story so
Yeah.
much. So much.
Wow. That's so cool. You interviewed the author.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I think out of the, like, obviously, like with the historical girls, I feel like those first like 8 are really the core, the
Mhm.
most special. And so
Agreed.
for a while I was just kind of like about the newer ones. Obviously I have them all, but as I've grown my collection and I've accepted them into my life, I read those Courtney books and I was like, wow, this is really good and powerful and amazing that American Girl is, because it's still like it's like teetering on the edge of like what's appropriate for kids and what's not, because you don't want to scare kids when they're reading a book about their favorite doll that they just got, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But they do such a good job with their
Like
storytelling.
combining, yeah, like
Yeah.
combining the stories with culture and life lessons all woven into play. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are people on the internet who like to criticize American Girl. I think Addie is one of the dolls that gets criticized the
A
most, which
lot. Yeah.
is understandable. We live in a much more uh, a culture where people will really nitpick at things. But to me, I just feel like the main plot of Addie was this is what's right and this is what's wrong. And as a kid, I totally got that. And I was like, wow, like what a powerful character. But like I don't need to be hearing when I'm 9 years old about all the stuff to know the difference between what's right and wrong. So where from
Yeah.
my point of view, I feel like they nailed it. And yes, they could do more, I guess, but it's like I think a lot of times people forget that these characters are made for kids. And it's like, well, you have to be like age appropriate for that kind of
Hmm.
thing. And it's something that I personally think just American Girl does so well, even though it gets criticized quite a bit.
Yeah, it does. I agree. It does get criticized so much. And I completely understand the different perspectives from everyone who agrees with American Girl on what they're doing and the people who disagree a lot. I get the perspectives, but I feel like it's important to really focus on what the true meaning of what all they're doing is about. Like,
Right.
like
Right.
I'll take all the haze away,
100%. So you work at American Girl, and I can't imagine a more fun thing to walk into every day. So tell me about your daily, what's your day like when you're walking into American Girl?
No day is the same, that's for sure. It's always really fun and exciting. I mean, I work in a really vibrant atmosphere, so we're always having fun. But there's all kinds of things that goes through through a business day and making sure that everything is perfect for every family that comes in and visits. But mainly as a GM of the Dallas location, I basically am leading my team through to run smooth a business operation, basically in front and in the back of house, making sure my leaders are leading the team and supporting the team as best as possible in development areas, because American Girl is one of those companies that really care about like growing an individual, which a lot of companies don't really care about like you
Right.
as an individual. American Girl is not like that. Like they care about their employees, which is really cool. And I'm not speaking for the company at all. I'm just speaking from my personal perspective. And so I am all about developing associates to be the best they can be, whether they stay with the company or move forward. But yeah, so I'm typically doing a lot of that and a lot of jumping in and filling the holes if there is one. So sometimes this day I'm a dishwasher. I might be a cook this day, or sometimes I'm a server, which is the most fun position to be because I get to be a part of the connections and building those magical memories with guests. So I do a lot of that. And in addition to that, with my culinary trainer position, I'm also developing new recipes for new rollouts, and that's also really fun. And like I said, the desserts are my favorite.
Yeah. I imagine you guys do like a lot of parties and stuff for people. Do people book those like quite a bit?
Yeah, so parties is a everyday thing. Like it's not one day where we don't have a birthday celebration. It gets kind of crazy, and my servers' voices by the end of the day are tired because they've sung happy birthday so many times. But yeah, parties are a daily thing. We come in the morning and we know that we're going to have birthday parties, and we prepare the reservation tables or the private rooms for those reservations every day because it's a part of it. Like that's the main thing that kids are coming for, to celebrate their birthdays.
Right. And what all goes into a party? So if I wanted to book an American Girl birthday party for myself, like what happens for me?
Oh goodness. So it just depends on how you want to go about this. Like are you a big spender and you ready to spend some money, or are we trying to do it more on the conservative side? It just depends on what you're looking for. But honestly, American Girl has so many different options. You can just come in and just do cake and ice cream and get some soft drinks and cinnamon rolls and a goodie bag. To go, and then that's it. And so that's typically the cheaper option. A lot of people like to do that during in the main dining area, but you could go as expensive as the private room, which is getting a personal hairstylist that does all the dolls in the party's hair in the party room. And then they'll also have the birthday girl there. The birthday girl will get crowns, all the dolls will get crowns, you'll get beverages included, you get appetizers, entrees, of course, the cinnamon rolls, our signature cinnamon rolls. You get games and activities and crafts, and yeah, all of that with a signature cake that says happy birthday, whatever your daughter's name is, ice cream, and the goodie bags, so much stuff. But yeah, like you can honestly, like, you could go start
Amazing.
from here and just do a little bit of a celebration, or do the big lavish thing.
I love that. I'm so bummed the American Girl store here in Colorado is no longer.
Yes,
It's
I know.
it's been a while, and it's like I was in LA in November and I was like everyone's like, what do you want to do when you're there? And I'm like, I'm going to the American Girl store. Got
Yeah.
off the plane, got in my car and went straight there. And I loved it. So I have a question for you.
Mhm.
And I talk to a lot of doll collectors who are men and who grew up as little boys who love dolls. And I am wondering, because I did feel when I was in LA, like the staff like went out of their way to like come and talk to me, and it really felt like they were super trained how to talk to a male doll collector. And I don't know if that was just me, but I've talked to a few people who have had this experience, because I think with American Girl specifically, as a male doll collector, it's the one collection in my huge ass doll room that sometimes people kind of give it a second glance and they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." And I do think it's because American Girls are such big dolls. There's a lot of like there's a lot of like stigma around them, and I think it has a lot to do with like Chucky just because of their size. And you just mentioned you do all these birthday parties for girls and people's daughters. So what do you guys do if a little boy wants to have his birthday party at American Girl?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. There honestly is no difference. It's just as much fun. We give them the same experience that we would for little girls. And it's happened. Like I said, I've been at American Girl for a little over 9 years. And I've had plenty of boys that have come in and celebrated their birthday parties. And I don't treat them any different. So,
I
yeah,
love that.
it's the same.
I felt like when I was at the store, because I was a little nervous to go in. I was like, oh God,
Like, what are they gonna?
I haven't been in an American Girl store in so long, and like I'm a full adult right now, and I'm about to leave with some stuff. Like I'm not like I'm about to buy some stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I just felt like they were so kind and like so just ready to talk to me and ask me the questions that they knew I had. And I
Yeah.
was like super impressed by it because as a little boy, like, I mean, I do have my little boy mini me, but these are newer. Like, these have not been around for that long. And so they've just only recently started introducing boy American Girl dolls. So I was just curious about that because I know that, I mean, it's in the American Girl is the title, but
Right.
you know, and I know everyone wants to be all woke and stuff, and people are like, they should change it to American They. And I'm like, that is not gonna happen. It's American Girl for a reason, but let's just appreciate the fact that they have now at least accepted the fact that boys play with dolls too, and they've made it accessible to young boy. I mean, as a little boy, I would have been like, no, I want Felicity. You know, but just knowing that they have that option there now, I think is a really one of the better moves that I think, in my opinion, that American Girl has made in the last decade or so.
Yeah, honestly, in as far as training goes, from my perspective, American Girl doesn't really require any different kind of training. The training is if somebody's coming to celebrate, you celebrate them and you be a part of that celebration with them. However excited they are, you're that excited. So if a little boy comes in and he's like, I'm turning 10, I'm like, oh my God, you're double digits. You know, like I'm just as excited as he is no matter what. And sometimes we have adults that come in and she's like, I'm 81. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, that's so cool. You know, so it doesn't really matter who you are, what age you are. Like none of those things are important. What's important is that you came here to celebrate and you chose me to celebrate with you, you know, like
Yeah.
so I'm like really that whole thing is really special and I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And I was just gonna ask, like, how many adults come in for birthday parties?
We get
Tons?
adults every day. It's so common and it's so funny because adults are like, is that okay? Like, are you sure I can? Yes, like it is so common. We get adult parties only, adult parties almost every day. Like I want to say it might happen more than once a day because it's so. And then especially when like adults come and they shop in the store and then they're shopping for their kid. Maybe they're trying to surprise them with something. They're hungry, so they're gonna come in and they
Right.
dine it. You know, like so that happens much more frequent. But yeah, we get adult private parties sometimes and regular dining reservations often. So
Well, I am just telling you, if we still had our Colorado store, I'd be so down for that. And I think you just are like, you have like such good energy that I can't imagine any kid having a bad time if you were there
thank
with
you.
them. So that's great.
Thank you.
Um, so I want to talk to you. I mean, do you get any perks for working at American Girl? Do you get a discount? You should, right?
Yeah. That's funny. When people ask me that a lot, and they're like, "Girl, tell me what is it?" Well, so yeah, I do get perk. The most important perk I think is honestly being able to come to a work environment that's so positive and so fun every day because a
Yeah.
lot of people don't get that opportunity. But also the other kind of perks are like special events. I'm always a part of every special event. If it's a special event, I'm there for it. You know, if there's a special guest, I'm there for. I get all of that, so that's a perk to me. And of course, I get an employee discount. But I think the biggest perk out of all of them is being able to still be a part of the impact that the brand makes on families, which is so cool because this this family is going to remember this for forever. And guess who was a part of that?
Yeah.
You know, that's so fun. Like, I remember my experience when I was a little girl with my mom, and that meant so much to me. I still hold it so dear to my heart now. And now I'm doing that for other people. That's the biggest perk, you know?
Yeah. That's cool. And it's like, how could you have a bad day working at American Girl? Like, I
It's
just am
really
like,
difficult.
it's freaking amazing. So let's dive a little deeper into some dolls. Like, tell me. Obviously, Josefina is a queen, but tell me about who are some of your other favorite. And honestly, like, we'll have to keep it to historical. I know some of the girl of the years, but like with the Truly Me's, if you're like my favorite's Truly Me number 86, I'm not gonna know what that is. Um, so who are some of your other favorite characters in the line?
Yeah. So I'd say Claudie.
Okay.
You brought up Claudie earlier. Yeah, I'd say Claudie is my one of my faves. She's one of my historical faves. And I believe that Claudie is my fave just because like her story is really nice. Like she's, 1920s, Harlem Renaissance, find your voice. Everyone around me already knows what they got going on. I need to find my purpose kind of girl. In addition to her just being so cute, like she's so unique with her
So
face mold
cute.
and her cute hair. Like, oh my God. So when I seen her before I even knew her story, I had to get I had to get her. But yeah, so Claudie is one of my favorite historical girls, and also Gabriella. I'd
Okay.
say 2017 Girl of the Year. She's a solid pick just because she was my very first Girl of the Year and she was a dancer. That was like, I want to say I had been hired on to American Girl shortly before that. No more than like 6 months before Gabriella came out that I had been on with American Girl. So she was my very first Girl of the Year that I had got after being employed there. And she was a dancer. And at that time, I was still in a dance company. So I was like, oh my God, like this, they made her for me. Like I felt like they knew what they were doing and they made her for me. So also I love Gabriella for that reason. So yeah.
Love that. I would have to say I love Sage. Cause
Yeah.
duh. And you know what's crazy is she spells her name the same way I do, which is not common. So we have an I in
Oh,
our
it's not
names.
common, no.
Yeah, so I have Sage. I love Josefina. I think Molly has some really good books. I love Molly's books, I think the most out of all of them. I also am like a late Samantha conformist. Like when I was a kid, everybody had Samantha, so I did not. I was
Right, me
like,
neither.
no, I don't. Everyone has her. I don't want her. And so I didn't
Yeah.
get her until much later. And then when I finally got around to reading her books, I was like, yeah, she's
Oh,
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
me
love
too. It took me
Samantha.
some time. Yeah.
And I mean, I love them all, but then with like the later dolls, I really think Courtney, they nailed it with her.
They
I
did.
love
They
the
did.
80s and I just love how bold American Girl was. I don't know if you've read Courtney's books, but they
I
literally
have.
talk about a little kid having HIV, which is so like
Like, what?
truly like speechless. I like was reading this book and I was like, this is bonkers. This is so crazy, but they did it in such a good way that I think I cried, like physically cried reading that book. And I was like, she's the best.
In her collection, everything that she came with,
So
so accurate,
cool
so
and
perfect. Like,
cool. I have
yeah.
like one of her like TV works, which I'm
Like,
like, this
what?
is
You could
wild.
literally put one of the VCR tapes in.
I know it's crazy, but yeah, I mean, so many special characters. I could go on and on and on. I think it's interesting. Felicity hasn't been brought back yet. What's the tea?
I wish I knew.
It's
I wish I
crazy.
You are not the only one who's asked me that. I have no idea. I'm waiting along with you guys.
We are all waiting patiently for Felicity. I think there's some. I mean, I've read a lot about, oh, they're not going to bring her back because her story is so controversial. But I'm like, yeah, but they don't even do the books anymore. So it doesn't matter. Like, like no one's going to read it. So it's fine. It's fine. And like, I think most of the people adults collecting American Girl, like grew up with these books and like know how like the times have changed. So I think it's really easy for me to look at Felicity's books now and be like, ooh, that's a little bit questionable. But like, that kind of material was so common in the time that she was released. But again, the books they don't even do that anymore. So it's like, come on, we need, like, she's the last like OG, right? I think they're all
Yeah.
available right now except for her, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
crazy. It's crazy. Are there any American Girl dolls that you don't have in your collection? Well, first of all, let me ask you, how many American Girl dolls do you have?
I just have to do a count because people keep asking me, but I keep buying them, so I keep getting lost. And I don't have that many, but I have a total of 60 American Girl dolls, and six of them are Welly Wishers, and four of them are Bitty Babies. Them are like, contemporary, historical, all the 18-inch dolls. But yeah, I have 60 now. I just recounted and I actually have 60.
That's a great number, and it'll keep going up, I'm sure, and that's great because I was like, I'm capping myself at 20, and now I think I have like 42, and I'm like, oops, my bad.
Yeah, whoops.
Because like
That's a big whoop.
you can't get, you know, Samantha and not get Nelly. Like you have to, like I just am like I'm a completionist, unfortunately. So it's
Yeah,
like, of course I have to spend $200 to get an Ivy Ling doll. No problem.
gotta complete it. Gotta
Got
complete
to.
it.
I feel insecure without them. Um, are there any of the American Girls, any of the dolls that you don't have in your collection that you would like to have someday?
Yes. And there's one specifically that I don't have in my collection, which is Josefina.
What?
I know. I know people are like, you don't have Josefina, that's your favorite. I don't have Josefina. She is my girl, and I hold her so dear to my heart. Honestly, she is so special to me because, like I said, that connection with my sister, but she was so special to me, and I made so many magical memories with her when I was younger. When I got older and my nieces got of age, I passed her and my other doll down to them, and man, she made some really great memories with this. You could barely tell it was Josefina at the end, but so many magical memories were made with them, and I'm really glad that I was able to do that. But now that I'm an adult collector, I look back and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have not given away Josefina, like your very first one, So it was like, dang it. But I'm really grateful that I had her and that I was able to do that for my nieces. And now that I work for American Girl, I have the opportunity to be able to get her at any time, and I just haven't yet. But honestly, it'll be a full circle moment the second I get her, man, because I do want her so bad. But yeah, I don't have her.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I love the American Girl Doll Hospital. Like it's so convenient and great. I will say the one doll that I sent to the American Girl Doll Hospital was that I wish I didn't was Josefina because I mean, and I didn't even at the time this was in maybe like 2015 or something because I had just moved into my where I live now, and I had all these American Girl dolls, and I had loved them and played with them and was like, oh my God, I forgot there's this doll hospital. I could just send them off and they'll send them back and they'll look brand new. And I didn't even know about like the changing face sculpts and all that stuff. Minor changes.
Mhm.
And the one doll that I'm like, I should have just not touched her and got a brand new one was Josefina. Cause like she's not I think I did like the full makeover for her.
Everything.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they just sent me a new doll because really, if you look at the fine print, like I did get everything replaced, but she's still gorgeous and I love her. But it's the one doll that I was like, damn it, like that's the one I should have just bought a new one. Like, oh well.
Yeah.
Because I'm sending nowadays I don't really care. So I find a lot of American Girl dolls out at thrift stores and flea markets for like very cheap, and I love sending them to the doll hospital because they come back and it's like, wow, brand new. And
Brand new.
I love refurbishing them too. It's super fun. I like to restring them, all the goods. So
Oh, do you?
oh yeah.
I
Oh
think that's
yeah.
so cool. I think that is so cool that some people are able to do that. I have tried and I was not successful.
It's
So I think it's
difficult.
so
It's
cool.
difficult. I think the eye swapping is the hardest one where you
Yeah.
switch their eyes. I hate doing that. So that's where the American Girl Doll Hospital comes in handy because I hate doing that. What is the most recent American Girl doll you purchased?
Hmm. Wednesday Adams.
Ooh, how is she?
Oh, she's amazing. I just love her so much, and I just love staring at her.
She's cute.
But yeah, I was excited to get her because, and the way it happened, and this is another perk, honestly, working at American Girl, because you're able to see the inventory. And so you see how many we have at first, and you see them leave, and you're like, how many we got now? And it's like, so you watch the inventory get smaller and smaller. And I think that's really what happened with Wednesday Adams, because she, honestly, fun fact, she's my most expensive doll I have. None of my other dolls are anywhere near her price because I don't have any of the collectible dolls. None of my, I had decided that I wasn't going to get any of the collectible dolls just because they're always so expensive.
I know.
And I'm like, I could get $2 for that price, you know? But yeah, and so she's my very first collectible and a collaboration as well. And so I got her, and the reason why I got her is because I watched her inventory shrink and shrink and dramatically shrink. And I was like, okay, how many do we have now? And then my partner in retail was like, girl, we only got 3. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and grab her. So that's how I ended up getting Wednesday.
I love that. I have like the Barbie. I got the Barbies.
Yes,
They're up
I
here.
see them.
But the recent ones that I got, and I'm sure you know about these, they're new, are the
You got
they
those?
came so fast. I ordered these yesterday.
Oh my God.
No. The day before yesterday, but they came yesterday. They came in like 15 hours. And okay, what's crazy is I ordered the whole set, but Josefina and Samantha are in a separate package. But these ones came at my doorstep yesterday.
Wow, that's crazy.
I have to,
Fun.
and for everyone listening, these are these new American Girl plush dolls, and I think these are a great idea.
Did you get the book with them?
Yes. They're very abridged.
Yeah,
They're only a
I
couple-
read some of them and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But the thing I love about this is like it's definitely new and fresh, and I love how they did that because American Girl could have easily done a bunch of like Truly Me-esque dolls like this, but the fact that they chose those original characters, I'm like, this is something new and different, and it's helping that legacy continue because for quite a while, I would say it's getting a lot better now. I feel like the focus at American Girl was not on the historical characters, which is what made American Girl. I will say in the last 2-3 years, they've started reintroducing and focusing, which I love. And so I think these are great.
Yeah.
The detailing is fantastic. Any kit, it's called like the boxes are so cute too. Like
Yes, I couldn't wait to get my hands on them. Because I work there, so everything new I get to see first. So I mean, they were like, "Guess what we just got?" And I was like, "What?" And my partner in the operation, she grabbed me and pulled me back there, and I'm like, "Oh, they're so cute!" They were so adorable, and I think it's so great that American Girl is keeping up with the times and like finding ways to connect with different people, like that's so cool. So now that we have these cute little plushy-ish dolly, kind of things, I love it. I love it so much.
I do too. And like I said, it's just so great to see them pulling these, the heart of American Girl. And I know all these characters are available in their regular form right now. But just to introduce something new like this and keep them so true to what the dolls were, like I just think it's great. So I think these are fantastic. I ordered the whole set. I don't even care. Anything again though, no Felicity, which I mean makes sense because if Felicity is not available, I guess they want people. I'm sure they want to encourage people to buy one of these for their 3-year-old, and then the other size for the older. Great marketing. So we kind of talked about it, and I was just kind of getting into it. So I love these because, again, like American Girl has recently, I feel, just like stepped back into this historical renaissance, if you will. And I think for a while, my thoughts on the brand were very mixed because it was like, oh, these Truly Me dolls are really what everyone cares about. Even like the kids, that's what they want. They weren't really necessarily interested in Molly or Addie or whoever. And so I think it took them a minute, but I do love the fact that they're re-releasing some of the outfits. I would love to see more collections come back. I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, you get these catalogs and Josefina has 6 pages to herself, like they all do. And they have the most beautiful collections. Some of it is so hard to get. And I would love to see more of that come back because I just think for so long I felt like there was a little bit of a disconnect, but for me at least. And now I feel like that connection is coming back because they are, highlighting Addie and Molly and Kirsten. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I think it's great.
Yeah, I was really excited when they relaunched them and also brought out those school outfits. Oh my God. Did you get the school outfits?
Of course I did.
So cute. I was like, how am I going to tell my husband about this purchase? Like,
Payment plan. There are payment plans available.
like like they were all so cute. So yeah, I love that American Girl has shine more sunshine in the historical way because they definitely deserve it, and it is like kind of the meat of the whole thing, so I'm really happy about it too.
All right. Well, Imani, thank you so much for coming on the show. Like I said, I could just go on and on and on about American Girl. And I have been watching you for a while on TikTok. You have such a great energy. You're so fun. I cannot imagine a better employee to work at one of these stores. So you've definitely found your calling for sure. But please tell everyone where they can go see your content because it's so fantastic.
For sure. So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I just recently branched out to Instagram and YouTube. So I'm fresh on there, but TikTok, I'm fully loaded all on TikTok. And I'm under the same tag name. So Imani B. Taylor, B as in, I don't know, vivacious.
Yes.
So you can find me on all of those, and I basically just share all the behind the scenes fun and glimpses of working at American Girl and all the little magical details that it's all made of.
Well, you do a great job, and I'm telling you, if I'm ever down in the Dallas area, I'm booking a party, and I hope I get you as my host because I know how much fun that would be.
So much fun. I'll definitely be there.
Thank you so much. Yay! Thank you, Imani, so much for coming on the show. I had so much fun. I love talking about American Girl, and you are such a bright light in the collecting community. So I'm so excited I got to chat with you. And this wraps up our summer session. Thank you guys so much for listening. Next week, on September 7th, which is actually my birthday, I'm gonna be putting out part 1 of a deep dive series. It's 2 parts. Part 1's gonna come out next week, and I did a deep dive series on my Britney Spears custom dolls. I always like to celebrate the anniversary of the podcast with something Britney related, and I had so much fun going back and looking at all my work. There were so many dolls to go through, so many dolls that I totally forgot about, dolls that brought back very specific memories. I split them up into categories, and I just had so much fun with it. It is going to be a video podcast, so make sure you check it out on Spotify or YouTube. Like I said, part 1 of that will be coming out on September 7th, and then the part 2 will come out the following week. Very excited for that. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, don't forget, I'm going on fall break after the part 2 drops. So September 15th, I will be off, and I will be back in October with brand new episodes for the rest of the year. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will talk with you guys next time.